secret weapon, new leaks, and more. All in today's video, Helldivers, so grab a hot cup of liberty and let's dive right into the video. We have a lot to go over in today's video, guys. So to begin, let's go over the newest warbond, Servants of Freedom, which had a lot of mixed opinions. Personally, I think it looks badass, and I was not expecting anything like this whatsoever. The initial fake leaked warbond suggested a stealth-inspired concept, but I for sure like this one a lot more. Someone posted on Reddit about the armor, and it seems it's about to go down. Players are excited because it looks like Doctor Doom. Yes, Doctor Doom. Drip or drown. And yeah, man, that looks absolutely sick. It definitely looks like Doctor Doom. Now, for anyone who does not know what is included in this next warbond, maybe you're late to the party, or just perhaps you've been working and you haven't had time to look at this warbond. So we will dive into this briefly. This is the warbond, Servants of Freedom, and it includes the following: 2 new armor sets, 16-3 Martyr, if that's how you say it, and the 16-12 Righteous. And you know what, these look absolutely awesome, and I was not really expecting, as I said, anything like this whatsoever. Player banners, capes, and new emotes and victory poses. And I've got to admit, I like the kind of like half cut off cape there. I think that looks really, really awesome. There is also a new throwable called G50 Seeker. Honestly, this new toy will be absolutely amazing against the bugs that fly in the air. Yes, you know, those pesky buggers. We also have a new Sickle, the last 17 double-edged Sickle. I mean, another Sickle, won't say no to that. I mean, the Sickle is literally my favourite weapon in the game. A brand new secondary, and we did not see this coming, the GP31 Ultimatum, which is basically a hellbomb rocket, or in better terms, a mini missile launcher. I think that's the best way to put it. Lastly, a new stratagem, the B-100 portable hellbomb, which is going to be absolutely menacing. I mean, just look at that. That's going to cause chaos. Literally, not only is there going to be a lot of team killing for sure, but at the same time, this is going to be absolutely amazing against the Bio Titans, Striders. Honestly, I cannot wait to test these bad boys out. It's going to be absolutely mental. Personally, I think this is going to be a favourite stratagem for many, and I know it's going to be milked, and I mean milked as soon as it comes out. And why not? Because if it takes down Striders and Bio Titans instantaneously, and you have unlimited uses, even if the cooldown time is like at least 8 minutes or so, I think it'd be a solid stratagem to bring quite often. Let me know in the comments, will you be raining down hell using this new portable hellbomb? A lot of team killing is about to happen. I can guarantee you that right now. We do have some more information on the Sickle and other items we are receiving. Ironsight's leaked all the details on them. Most of it is very promising. However, there is one thing that did concern me a little bit. So we will go over this in depth when we move on to the leaks. Moving forward to a secret weapon. Yes, because Arrowhead have gone and done it again. They have listened to the community and what they have been saying for such a long time, and they have gone and added a shovel. Yes, a shovel. It may seem minor, but the community have been asking for this bad boy for ages, and they have gone and just said, hey, you know what? Let's give them the shovel. You can dig holes with it, which is actually pretty handy on the bot front, you know, digging trenches and all that jazz. Personally, I really like it. It's something obviously really small, but it definitely helps out in certain situations. Like if you're just getting hounded by the bots and you've got no cover, you can just whip out that shovel, dig a little bit, and there you go. You got some cover. Something simple, but it literally works. Damage-wise, it's good against light armor targets, but that's really about it. I mean, it's a fun little weapon to use, but where it shines, it's just basically digging trenches. It may not be anything massive, but it's still a nice little thing to have in-game. Drop me a comment below. Did you know about this? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? Moving on to Automaton urban environments. Yes, you heard me right. We are getting bot and bug urban environment. This is by Helldivers 2 Media, and it says bot city missions are currently available. Apparently on some medium level worlds, you can actually hop onto these. I don't think it's been announced yet, but it's definitely there, and you can dive into them if you manage to come across certain missions, because at the moment it's really hard to find and super rare. I did not manage to find this myself, but many people have been able to dive into these currently, which I think is absolutely awesome. This is really cool, and I'm super stoked to see this. Perhaps we will see the bugs on urban environments at some point. since it's now implemented for the boss. If any of you have seen this for yourself, drop a comment below and tell me, because I have not seen many people talk about this. Moving on to big leaks. This is all by Iron Sights, and this shows us a clearer picture of all the details in the warbond. There is also a weapon leak that's completely separate, which I never ever thought I would ever see enter this game, but yeah, apparently it's coming. The first one here is to do with the Sickle, which, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there was one part I was kind of disappointed with. So the Sickle, as you know, is light armor penetrating, and it's still one of my all-time favorite weapons in the game. However, according to Iron Sights, it states here that the second Sickle is also light armor penetrating. A bit confusing, but okay. Iron Sights, last 17 double-edged Sickle, weapon traits light armor penetrating, the last 16 Sickle model with all overheating protections completely removed, allowing for a far longer burst of fire, does more damage when overheated, at the cost of slightly burning the user. Basically, you're getting more out of the weapon in return for it dealing damage to you, if that's how it works. Now, if it had stagger or some other effect, maybe it would make it more appealing to use, but to me, at this stage, is there any benefit using one or the other? It doesn't really seem so. I interrupt this video to say, if you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe for managed democracy. No, not managed communism. Go away, Vlad. No one wants you here, Vlad. Go away. Yeah, go away. You'll also save a child's life from the automatons, so win-win. If they gave the second Sickle medium armor penetration, I think it would make it 10 times better. I would most likely use the second one just because obviously it's newer. You get what I mean. But as it stands, it doesn't really seem like there's any benefit in using one or the other, because they are very, very similar. Obviously, the second one is double-edged. I don't really see much of a difference between the two, though. Yes, it's double-edged, meaning you can fire for longer, but other than that, it doesn't really offer any other traits. To me, it just sounds like an improved version of the first Sickle, which begs the question, is it really necessary? I don't really think so, unless they gave it medium armor penetration. Now on to the next leak here, so take this with a pinch of salt, as you never know what's coming. But once a new warbond drops, normally these store updates, and we get a load of new goodies. We saw this with the illuminate update, and we got obviously another baton, a smaller version, which is absolutely sick. Iron Sights leak CQC-5 combat hatchet, a heavy hitting one-handed melee weapon. Man, an actual hatchet. Not a throwing knife, a hatchet. This sounds badass, and I want to chop and fry some squids with this bad boy. I think it's pretty realistic to see this enter Helldivers 2, since of course we have a shovel now. And not only that, but this was legit leaked yesterday. I think it's safe to say this indicates Helldivers 2 definitely has a bright future ahead for sure. Drop a comment, are you going to be chopping up some squids if we receive a hatchet? Now moving on to some armor leaks. Iron Sights leak B-22 model citizen armor gifted to Helldivers whose civilian lives were distinguished by exemplary citizenship, patriotism and service to the Federation. And the armor passive at the bottom right says democracy protects, 50% chance to not die when taking lethal damage, prevents all damage from bleeding if chest hemorrhages. To me, it's just the standard armor you get in game, just a bit more shinier. But in general, I think it looks absolutely awesome. I think so far the red armor is my all-time favorite. Then again, I love red, so kind of makes sense. There was also another leak regarding a new automaton fabricator, automaton colony fabricator, a large-scale fabricator that deploys units from both sides. So could this be for all units or maybe striders? On the bug front, we already do have nests for larger enemies, like Bile Titans, so it's possible this fabricator could be for Hulks, Striders, just larger bots in general. The next armor on the agenda is this one here, IE-57 Hellbent Armor, which looks just absolutely insane. Assembled from pieces of recovered Helldiver armor and Sieve gear, for those who won't let the lack of full body protection keep them from the battlefront. And this is where things get absolutely crazy. The armor passive for this one is integrated explosives. Armor explodes 1.5 seconds after the wearer dies, which we haven't seen anything like this enter Helldivers 2 so far, so I think this armor passive is really sick. This is the first one of its kind so far from what I know, and probably many more to come, just as wild as this one. Man, exploding on death. This is going to create a lot of team killing for sure, and I think I kind of like that. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. Is it me, or does this not give you like Mad Max vibes, you know, that kind of rampage look? I really like it, and I think this may be my top armor in game so far. Probably overtaking the red armor I wear literally 24/7. As always, let me know below, guys, if you like the look of these bad boys. I think this warbond is the switch up we have needed for a long time. Now on to the biggest leak right here, the newest from what I know, and it's of a chainsaw. Yes, you heard me right, a chainsaw. Iron Sights leak, the Chainsword melee, which I'm guess is in its early stages since there's not a render for this yet. If this enters the game, it would be awesome. I did think to myself, it looks like the Automaton chainsaw enemies. I forgot the name of those, but it looks like the arms of those guys, but just as a weapon individually. I mean, I would love a feature in this game where you can pick up enemy weapons and use them temporarily. I think that would be really cool. This reminds me of something straight out of Warhammer 40k. I know we're not getting a Warhammer crossover, but it reminds me of that literally 100%. So is this for the Superstore, a future warbond, or perhaps a crossover coming? I will leave this leak here for you guys to sit on and think about. This does look like the early stages of this model, meaning it may not be coming right now. However, with the cadence of Arrowhead Studios at the moment, I am very certain it won't be long before we see this chainsaw enter Helldivers 2. Thank you so much for watching. You Helldivers are legends. Until next time, go and conquer the galaxy for managed democracy, and I will see you in the next video.